Now don't say anything.
Hello. Well, it's December 23rd today. It's a Tuesday. And we didn't do a painting yesterday because we did an easel talk, though. I don't know if that's better or not. We are, oops, get rid of that. At least I'm in focus. I did a painting the other day. Well, I need to be careful too because it's of a, yeah, whatever. Not one I'm going to share on the channel. Now, what is it, Mike? What is it with you and stubbies? You want more stubbies? I want stubby. Send me stubby. Send me stubby. That's a DOS bristle filbert. How's that? Nice. We're on our 50, our Art Z. No, the cheap lens. Oh, I think it costs more than the camera. It definitely costs more than the camera it's coming, which is going to be nice because it's full frame. It should give me more light and the same amount of sharpness and stuff. Well, the sharpness is really contingent on the lenses. All right, so what do we got here? You don't care about that. Well, maybe you do. Maybe you do. Actually, what the heck? It just came from the tube, right? That tube. There's a big giant lid on it. I'm using it up. Well, I'm using it up. This scene is Wooleys Beach. Yeah, it's kind of based on a random bit of internet reference, but I didn't think I'd be able to use it because it was like cropped in. But I thought, well, hey, I've been wanting to do. This is the rocks. I forget what the rocks are called. I want to say Mesa rocks. Pardon me. That's a little bit of residual asthmas. Okay. Yeah. What are we looking for? We got a brush. We need a T-square. Yeah, anyway, I was thinking, vertical. So, this sky is actually a combination of the original sky, which was okay. It was nothing great. Then I composited in a sky, which I wasn't loving either. And the end result is that the sky in the reference isn't that great. But it doesn't matter because it's just grist for the mill. It's got some, in fact, it's quite actually pixelated in my reference image here. So far have we fallen from our Photoshop heights. Now we have to use 3 programs to get everything done. But I have been pleased with my results. At the end of the day, sometimes you got to work harder. That's just how it is. Don't cry. Be glad, because you know what? Struggle is fun, right? Life doesn't have meaning without some suffering. Whoa, what a concept. Now, I did use the old assistant to change out the water in this. This water is a lot more active than I'm going to paint it. And you'll get a chance to see that in the color mixing session. The sky, like I said, is varied, but all in all, I find it pretty inspiring, if not a little on the kind of teal side. But we're going to make a painting, so let's get into it. I just parked outside the gate today. I don't feel like messing with that gate. This is the first year they've closed it down completely. And that's really because last year some guy drove in with his van into the parking lot back there, and should have done that. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, decided to live here with his whatever she was. He would play. I don't know what he was playing. I remember sit on the grass, kind of a hippie with a pot belly. I know that's a contradiction. A big old beard. That's right. I made this. I set this up right on the horizon. There's a little horizon there behind the rocks. And there's a couple things that I think the assistant could have made up here, but whatever. It'll be close enough. Close enough. Is there anyone that called me out on that? Dunna. That's just a little reminder. All right, let's get busy. You ready? I say, yeah, Mike, come on, man. We've been waiting. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna make this smaller. I have it. It's not huge on my screen, but and you know what? This grid thing's well, I'll keep the grid going. The main thing I want to do is make sure that I'm not running out of room. So I'm zoomed out a bit. I'm focused on the grid, and I'm looking at these positive and negative spaces here. I got that wrong. It's okay, we get many attempts. That's what the underpainting's good for, my friends. And I did a quick little coating of oil on the board. That's gonna help. Oh yeah, I see what I got. We'll open that up a bit. Yeah, I think Adobe screwed the pooch. Well, you already know that if you heard me. Because a lot of things that I was enjoying with the it's using it some of its functionality, generative functionality. You know, it's available elsewhere and not that expensive. We'll get in closer. We got 1 point right there. I can't really see that too well. It's zoomed out. It's really dark, you know. Yeah, I wanted to get it painted done today because tomorrow I gotta stay at home and wait for my new camera coming, which is a blessing. I sold my Canon 5D, which is honestly an amazing camera. Probably way more camera than the one I'm getting. But it had one big problem. I never really was using it because it's a camera. It does video, yeah, but it doesn't have a flippy screen. So couldn't, like I was thinking I would like to be able to do some easel talks at the house, but I don't want to move my whole camera rig. So I was thinking, well, I can have the R7 at the house and keep the R8 here. And that's the plan. And the R8's a great, looks to be a great camera. I'm still watching videos about it. Now we got this in the right spot. We can make that a little bigger. What's great is though is full frame. So this when I'm like crops in, which I can manage. I manage it. You wouldn't have noticed. This actually has higher resolution. Could be just this of that and this of the other. There's like a 1, 2, 3 here, and the foliage I don't want to do. 1, 2, 3. When I say 1, 2, 3, it's like intervals that are all the same. Okay. Yeah, we'll get in closer. I'm still got the grid bit here, which is kind of blocking things. But that's all right. Whoa, that's why I put that there. That's why I put that there. I knew I was going to do that. Remember when I made that mark? That's why I was telling you, man. Experience. Yeah. Ooh, jeez. Where are the swabs? Yeah, what saved me was knowing this is the horizon here. There's a little like distant rock thing. It's too tiny to paint that. I did contemplate actually flip the coin here. Um, Contemplated doing this as an 8 by 10. But the thing is, like, I'm doing this for the marketplace. I'm going to have fun doing it. I'm going to express myself, and I'm going to make a fine art painting. But it's for the marketplace. It's for the tourists. They've gone to the old Wooleys beach, and oh, I loved it. It was so beautiful, and those rocks were so interesting. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is one of the toughest things when you paint these around where it goes around. I'm going to get better. This will be the year. We don't want too lumpy. We don't want lump, lump, lump. I have got better at painting that sort of thing. I'm still not brilliant at it, but these little... I'm going to get better. This will be my year. I think I said that. Okay, there's one big wide swath of white there. That's not going to paint up well, so we're breaking that up. Yeah, for waves and water, the kind of painting nothing rules are in effect. You want to design, create patterns, some variation. Whoops. It's going to be mostly white. It's only semi-stubby. Okay. Using that side of the brush. And here we're going to do the perspective trick. Mention nothing but there will be a beautiful bit of blue on the bottom, which is something nice. I don't know exactly how that works. It ain't right, but we'll zoom in. We'll zoom in. Or we'll just leave it for the... Uh-huh. Quite a lot going on there. I'm not sure it's opened up. well. Too much paint on the brush, but watch me keep going. It's okay. I'm not going to get all... I'm not going to get all drafty. I don't want it. Enough of that. Where are the swabs? No. That's kind of cool. These are the best. I did buy a jar of some the other day when I was getting the car work done. I had to walk all over the sort of shopping area of our town here for like 3 hours, man, I had to kill. Anyway, I found some swabs, wood. You want the wood, and you want to always look at this swab. Like these are great. It might not be as good for your ear because it's not fluffy. You don't want fluffy swabs. You don't want them. No, you want to go to the Asian store, not to the grocery store. Get the wood swabs. I have very much tried to make the paper ones work, and they don't work. They don't work. And we really don't work with plastic ones. They don't work. They don't work. Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, so one thing I don't like is like a big dark bunch of clouds. Come on now. And I did fill up the sky a little better than in the reference, but there's like a dark bunch of clouds there. We're just going to take that and maybe move it up here. So you can move different bits of your sky. You put them where you want for your composition. I'm going to balance that out here. And take inspiration. It's all about balancing the patterns. Now that's a bit odd, a bit pointy. Back off of that. I'll prefer to have the dark streaks coming in from there. I'm not getting that close. And then of course we can do some other little things. That kind of yeah, so much is feel. But see what I've got going on there. You don't want to do that either. That's what I call the halo. Don't do the halo where the clouds kind of just ride around. See, it's better than the halo. Halo, halo. Okay. Here we're creating a situation where we got too many bumps. Bump meaning what I call the 1, 2, 3. The interval's too similar to the spaces in the clouds. The clouds is you can do the 1, 2, 3 anywhere. It can go gloriously wrong for you. It's pretty early. Like I'm cracking in 8:30, and we might get this painting done this morning, and that means we can do other stuff at home. I've got my my video for nearly a week from now. It's going to go out on my Sunday. That's all done. The easel talk's done. On the head, and that's really good because what sucks is when the time has come and I'm not ready, and I gotta make a change to my existing schedule to accommodate that stuff. We don't need that. Okay, let's say drawing's done. Yeah, really it is. It's more a hassle to stop and start all the cameras and the recorders. But in a sense, it's easier because there's a clean break. I don't have to hunt around. Thank you, Semi Stubby. Drink some coffee, make some more coffee. You're waiting for something to happen. Well, that's real time, yo. I am thinking about things, and one of the things I'm thinking about is maybe using a 6 on that sky. Normally I'd go for the 4, but also, yeah, this guy is not that inspiring, but we're going to make it great. Once we start painting it, it'll be great. Meanwhile, we'll just lean in, lean on. It's got spirits, not spirits, but it's got our alkyd medium in it, which means someone's already quick drying. You get out of here, you dry paint. I don't want you. Goodbye. The worst cap. I'm always complaining about the gambling caps, but this Classico cap. Well, this I have to say is Tuba Classico. It's been with me for at least a year or longer. We've been together a long time, and it's going away very soon. I got a tube right up back behind you. Right. I'm not going to use that one because it's noisy and I don't want to make a scrapey sound. As we do our premix. Now, yeah, the colors in this are not that inspiring, but I do like the color of the sand. And, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, sky. The skin, no good. That's good. I'm going to need a decent amount of blue, so we'll just grab all of that. Now, I'm not making this too dark because it's going to kind of cover a lot of different bases, this blue. And I'm going to keep it pure as well. We're going to grab some of this to do some other things. You can see that's just white and Prussian, and it's very pretty. Very pretty. We're going to need some more Prussian. Sorry, I do need to use this knife just to clean that up. Prussian dries pretty quick. Not as quick as Umber's, but pretty quick. No, I think this is the end of my second tube ever of Prussian. Well, I'm thinking that's the case. It might be my first tube. I don't think so, though. I got on the Prussian some way, somehow. Maybe just reading about it. I love the history of it. It's our first blue. It was major thing when it came out. It changed life for a lot of painters. Yeah, we take it as moderns. We take all this stuff for granted. No, we're gonna need to mix more. I'm gonna leave that just like that. This will be more for the sky. It's a little more subdued. Basically, just got that black in it. Oh, that's really nice. And it's gone green, and you can see the green in the latent green in the Prussian. Don't cry about it. That's what we got this mixing red here for, to counteract those kind of things. That's pretty. That's nice. That's enough for the darker bit of the sky. You see what the difference, though. What the difference? The black sneaking in the guise of Mike's gray, which is just black and white mixed together. Okay, let's do a couple grays now. Oh, okay, you get your chance. This is warm. So we're gonna we'll use all that. Warm gray, and you can. The basis of your warm gray could be, you could start with gray, black and white, or in this case, I'm going to just add white to the burnt umber, which is too brown. Then we'll bring in some Mike's gray. And it's still too brown. And brown, you're thinking, brown, what is brown? Well, in this case, it's kind of red. So we can, I think, use complementary color theory to, that's perylene. See, that cooled it off. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. That's mostly where I'll employ the old complementary theory. I don't do, well, I mean, I would do a complementary scheme in the sky many times. Things go complementary. Orange against blue and that kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, red and green. Yeah, so complementary is a big part of what I do. But I'm not precious or scientific about it. I've arrived at these. In fact, yeah, I've been looking at that book I told you I bought, which is, yeah, whatever. Mostly black and white, explaining a whole new color theory. That's the 70s and pre 70s, and people were rocking and rolling. It was making sense to them. That's fine, just as it is. That's Mike's gray. One of the few occasions where I won't worry about adulterating something, because that's just what I want. Maybe even some more. That's good. Now let's do our blue, the lighter blue. We don't need a lot. And yes, we can use the buff for that. Look how green that is. That's alright, come here. Neutralized. Over neutralized, but we're not done. We're going to bring in the yellow ochre, which has its own greeny properties. Now, before we neutralize that further, we're going to, yeah, we can neutralize that even further. I used to do this job with burnt sienna, which had a lot more payload, a lot more saturation in it than this more neutral. That's pretty good. It's a little ugly. So here, I'll show you what we do. We're going to grab a little bit of this. I'm going to reintroduce some pure color. You know, a lot of amateurs might do that. Old Uncle Mike's gone too far that way. That's too ugly. That's pretty nice. It's pretty natural. That is bog standard sky, not this, but you know, there. Whoa. Let's do a highlight color though. Bring in some creamy tones. And raw umber comes into the mix because otherwise it'll look fakey. Yeah, so I'm looking at this book and there's a little pooling theory and I don't really understand it. But then again, it's because I don't really care. I I got my own theory. I got my own approach, which I'm always sharing here, and basically that's initially based on the limited palette is how I started. So all of this is grown out of the limited palette, and that's what I recommend you do as well. Okay, we took up a lot of room with that sky there, but yeah, whatever. Room on the palette is what I'm saying. Let's get that cleaned up. Yeah, I was up at 6 today. Well, it's probably the first day of summer, 23rd. I would guess it is. Longest day of the year. It's bright at 6. Birds are going. Got our one-note birds going. Okay. How about you? Nice. That's way more than I need. Yeah, so you could see I took the alkyd bit away from the burn umber there because there's a chance that it'd sit there and not get used, and that alkyd would just it'd be dry, bone dry by the end of the day. Whereas in the mix there, I don't mind because I'm going to be painting this today. So alkyd down here, fine. Alkyd anywhere up there, no. And each pile of paint has its own properties and dry at its own speed. The umbers, of course. They dry quickly. In a hot summer day, they could be drying it by the end of the day. Yeah. That's nice. I'm thinking I'll do 2 greens anyway. Cool. Love that Paroline. Rich, if you're watching this one, thank you. Appreciate that. I'll always appreciate that. It made my life easier. Made it easier to create. For the Paroline black, which I'm always calling Paroline green because that's what it is, just a dark green. We don't need a lot. Yeah, it's Phthalo, and Phthalo is always like too much, too strong, and requires extra adjusting. Kind of like I was talking about with the old burnt sienna, trying to make this sort of tone for the sky. Yes, it does work, but it requires more massaging, more work. And as I mentioned earlier, today's struggle is fun. We don't mind some struggle, but unnecessary struggle is not fun. Because the real struggle, yeah, now we'll go pure. So if I'd done that with the that green that I'm working on, the middle green, if I'd done that with the yellow ochre, it would have had a bit more muddiness to it. I don't want it right now. That's actually quite good. We don't have tons of green in this painting, but the green we have is important. And we're going to do a range of sand rock colors now. That bluey color on the bottom, that can handle, it'll just come about with the, actually maybe I'll do a teal. I got quite a lot of that, so we'll take some of this away. And I don't always do this, but this is going to be nice. You'll see the Paroline mixes really nice with that Prussian. Gosh, that's pretty. It's not really enough, though. That's going to be too light. That's not bad. Especially when we add in some more of this Paroline. I'm making a ton of this. Holy cow. That's really pretty. More than I need. That's okay. Yeah, I might be the only one here today. There's a guy that does some carving in the back. He's the other guy that's always here working. Sandy colors. Starting with you. A little bit of black. We're out of white. We don't have no more. Get some more titanium, proper titanium. That one's on its tail end. I've been phasing out the gambling. The supplier, I don't know. They don't have all the other art supplies I want, really. And I buy very few art supplies, to be honest. I've stocked up. Every now and again I go through. If I feel like I'm getting low on something, I'll buy a bunch of it. Okay. We want this dark, so we're just going to bring in nice noise. I think that's mostly leaning into the raw, but let's get a little more depth in there from the burnt. Very nice dark sand. Going to mix with this color down below. See, it's where they're pretty close in value. That's a real big tip, when you got transitions. Make them in transitions in hue and not value, and your life's easier. Tips from your friend. Okay, that's Mars yellow, and it's bringing. I love Mars yellow for the sand because it brings in just the right amount of the readiness. That's perfect, just the way it is. A bit contaminated with the whatevers. Too contaminated. I hit it with the gray. To the degree I can't tell. We don't have a lot of light colored sand. That's probably sufficient. And we'll probably have leftover anyway. So, okay, colors are mixed. I'm going to go take care of a quick little this and that. We'll be back. I'll paint that sky. Okay. Oh, it said 6. And you know what? Not just any 6. This is a slightly smaller 6. This is a DOS Bristol Filbert 6, which is, compared to the Treacle, smaller. Compared to the Robert Simmons, smaller. So bigger than a 4, but this will be good. Now, I want a little more. I did mix the blue here, but I want more mystery in it. So I'm gonna bring a little more blue and some more black, and even a tap of the top of the sky. That's quite dark. I know. Wow, that's doing a nice job. But keep in mind, we'll be working into it, right? That's nice. Now here's the one we mixed. See? If we just done that, that wouldn't have been as nice. Yeah, so put you in a little secret about me as an artist. I've never been too worried about subject. That's one of the reasons why doing these coastals doesn't. Although, yeah, I don't like doing man-made stuff like cars and houses and things. I can do, have done, been paid to do it, and done a good job, but not as good as somebody that really wants to do those kind of things. But other than that, like people, landscapes, I'm pretty content to just, make the art. So, I mean, a sky in a coastal, a sky in a scene with a path and some trees, rocks with a few trees as opposed to some trees, that's all good. That's looking nice. We'll put some grays and things in there too. That's we're off to the good start. Yeah, I'm tempted, as I always am, to keep going with the blue, but it's good not to get too ahead of yourself. Let's just pop that there. I really like these knives. Now they're broken, they do a great job for me, and they're going to last forever. I might get the third one. I get these from the little art store they have here at the quarry. It's a pretty minimal little art store, but I like to give them some business if I can. Yeah, these are good too. These make a little more noise. You got to start off by sanding them, though. You got to start off by sanding the palette knives. These real stiff type. This is Jazz Art. It's a 5. Another one mentions it's a Jazz Art 6. Jazz Art, I think, is an Aussie brand. Like I said, off to a good start. Off to a good start. I'm going to reset this with a little orange. A little burn umber. Just to get myself out of blue mode. That's right. We're cleaning the brush with paint. You see we're not far off from that, right? That's pretty good. I like that. I've been thinking maybe a little matter in that. That's going to be a lot of matter, but like I was complaining earlier, this guy's a tad boring. So kind of like I did with the blue, I'm going to start a little darker. Well, it's not even that dark. Put a little more for this dark cloud mixture. Put a little more. It's dark enough. Ivory black in there. You don't even notice the matter, do you? You can see it on the palette, especially when I introduce it. You go, oh my god. That's nice. I like that. I want to go a different direction. Oh. The original mixed color would be a different direction, wouldn't it? Yes. A different direction that wasn't cool, because that's a strategy. got a lot of clouds to do. I'm thinking this is a radical move, maybe a little dioxin. That's why we've got you on my palette. Of course, we got to wake it up. And of course, it's too strong even with that little minimal amount. You can use the burn number to kind of put it into the realms of something more natural. That's kind of nice. Now again, I think on the palette this seems like insane. On the painting, not so much. And that's just bringing in a little extra color. That's pretty. That's what I'm talking about. That's one reason I'm not too worried about the sky reference being a little boring, because once you're into the painting session itself, you're making creative decisions. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna bring in Mars yellow. And some white. Because we're modulating yellow. That's quite subtle, which is good. Still haven't gotten anything cool, but that's alright. We'll go to. Oh, I don't want that too light. It looks for all intents and purposes like a blue. Okay, time to change it up. So yeah, the laptop I'm using for my reference here, I've been using since, I think my wife got it in 2017 or something like that. It's going on 10 years. I mean, it will be. She paid a pretty penny for it back in the day. I took it to Europe, and it did a great job for me there. But that's that sound you'll hear. That's why I brought that up. All right, so into the cool grays now. Let's see. We don't need to change much up. Look how blue that looks, right? That's nice. Let's see what you look like. It's not super different looking from the blue. That's the color without that extra black in it, which is different from the blue. Mostly because of value, but there's, the blue's got more blue. So much of what I'm doing is just pressure, doing my kind of sewing, scrubby motion. Nice. I think a nice, let's get some more of that Mike's Gray. We can change it up with a little bit of this yellow ochre. Now let's go in a little green as it does, as it always does. That's nice. It's neutralized. It's practically warm now. Adding a little more buff. That's going to be sky blue. It's getting time to do some more of that. So we had all these interesting clouds coming in from here, which I moved over to the other side. What I don't want is a total halo effect, but I can avoid that by just changing up the different light patterns around that little outcrop there. And we can do some stuff like this, but it's not going to be as dark as that cloud in the reference. Not getting that far from the time too. I don't like that shape at all. It's time to get back into the blue. We tried to do a highlight there, and we can do it. Nice. So we got this blue we mixed, which is too light to start, but we'll get back into the original mixture to do an intermediate. Even some of this pure blue. It's just been sitting there. That's just a time saver, because that blue on the end, that's just Persian blue and white, no adulteration. So it gives me a pure blue, because I do, this is going to be too light. A little black. A little more blue. So we're balancing the black with the blue with the white. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, try to have a light touch, but I notice when I'm looking at my paintings later that the skies do have a geometric sort of feeling. Well, whatever, you know, you could cry all day about, you know, your art turning out the way it turns out. I'm liking that. Now back into this lighter blue we mixed. And so you're seeing why I, you know, don't just jump in with one light color and do everything. I bring in a little darker color and work the light into it. Especially important in the sky, but I do it everywhere. And here in this part of the painting, I got all this color in the brush. I'm going to have to wipe it off, because I don't want it to be so strong going over there. Maybe I don't even have enough. It's okay. We're going to be all right. Whoa. I don't want to lose all that. So that might have seemed counterintuitive to take a break, but if I pulled that light all the way over, it just would have been messing with us. We don't want it. So it was worth taking a break, even though it's going to entail a little more work. This brush is feeling a little large for some of the stuff I'm trying to pull off, but the sky's a place for that. Time to go a little lighter. And a touch more pure. With the blue. That's pretty. This brush is too big now. I can't do it. Can't do it. I need something else. I mean, I could do it, but I can't do it. There we go. We're going to keep with the Dots Bristle Filbert. We got a nice 2, which is way smaller. Now, if you're looking at the palette there, I didn't go just right into the palette. I went into some other bits, and that's just so, because I know a lot of paint's going to get absorbed by the fact the brush had nothing in it. It's a bit floppy. You floppy. It's floppy, but I'm going to make it work. So one way to counter floppy brush is have more pigment in it. And you can see now why I had to I had to mix more paint, so it wasn't all thin, because the thin paint there, it's just extra floppy, and floppy. Now this brush, was pretty much new. Coming into a place where I'm going to want some real brightness. I haven't done it yet. Now's the time. I'll recondition the brush with some the grays on my paint. Wipe that off. That's right. Clean up my brush with paint. That's what we do. Okay. So we're not going in with the very brightest to start. We've adjusted that with some of the grays. It's going to seem pretty bright. That's too much up there, but it's alright. We'll adjust. I'm going to go a little brighter now. I know that already seems super bright, but it's a good move. Good move. I don't like bars coming out. I don't want a halo either, but it looks okay. Probably going to need a little something to attach it to. What's going on here? You can get lost in all the different patterns and things you can create with paint. And I recommend you do. I recommend you ruin a bunch of paintings doing that stuff. Because after a while you'll have a feel, you'll develop a feel for what's working, what's not working. Okay, so I mean I could have took that bright and past Mike would have done, he would have just took that bright all the way down on the horizon. But present Mike, soon to be future Mike, he likes a little more neutrals by the horizon. That's just a good plan. Again, I'm not that scientifically minded. There's probably good scientific reasons why that's a good plan. And what we're going to do is just bring it on Mike's gray. And a little tiny bit of red. Okay, maybe a little bit of yellow will go. That does not much. So, still too light. I want maybe more Mike's gray. I just put in a tiny bit of the, for this bottom bit of the sky. I tried a little bit of the raw umber, but it wasn't doing it. I want it distinct. There we go. See, it's distinctly not the same. It's a distinctly different color. Yeah. I don't know if I could have managed this with that other brush. I will tell you that the idea to modulate just hit me, but too small an area, not necessary. Well, maybe I can. We're not done. Might be good to bring it a little more light now. I got some of this left over. Look at my finger. Yeah, it's been a good one for showing you how to, with normal coloration sky, how to make it interesting with a little bits of purple, a little bits of redishness, not red. What do we got here? Okay. We did, we modulated, and we're glad. All right, time for a little look in the camera. I'm pretty much liking it. Oh yeah, it looks good. That looks great. Yeah, I don't need to mess with that. We're just going to leave it. As he gets ready to mess with it. But I won't be messing with it much. Don't you fret. Don't you worry. Just cleaning up a few things. You don't want to overwork your skies. That's an emotive response to the image that we're working with as reference, and it's better. It's more interesting than a reference. So the more you mess with it, the worse it'll get. I can say I wish I had a little bit of that. I'm cutting hairs. Slicing hairs. But I kind of want that to be, whoops, a little darker. Ah, you diox, you. Hey. Man, I had a nice subtle color there, and now I'm bombing out. I just left it. I like that. I'm happy with that. All right, actually, I think we'll leave it there. We're going to go do some grocery shopping before it gets too crazy out there, because it is the day before Christmas Eve here. We've got a lot done, and we'll be back this afternoon to finish this painting, and that's going to be awesome. There's a link below this video for a book about how to paint tonalist landscapes. Right, we're back. I like that sky. You wouldn't have expected something so cool from that reference, would you? See, I know now. Okay. We don't want a big brush for these, yeah, good. A 0. The Silver Grand Prix. Grand Prix, if you prefer. Might be enough. We better top that up a little. I don't want to mess around. Let's just start painting. Well, the new camera has arrived, but I thought, nah, I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to come back and make my painting, which is a good lesson for you. You too. Which is, man, I need my glasses on. Yeah, I'm going to make some things out here. What's the lesson for you, you're wondering? blanket made some stuff up there. I gotta just be careful. Just gotta keep it vague. It's pretty new, this 0. So I'm losing control a little bit. What's that sound fly? Don't you bug me. Oh, I'm happy with that. Well, I could easily use that for sand and water. I think since it's blue, let's do the water, right? Now, that was the opposite of what I usually do in this darks. Normally I take my glasses off. Oh, it's doing a nice job. Well, I don't want to deal with that. The mold on the cup. Let's just have a glass of water. That'll keep us going, because next thing won't take us too long. Nice. I'm going to need a ton of umber. That's green. It's okay if there's a little bit of bluish in there. You don't look bluish. You even get into some orangey. That's a neat effect. It's a neat effect. It's going to be tough. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this brush for that little bit I want to do in the back. Totally crooked. Not for long though. Yeah. Well, we got some blue tones in the brush. We're gonna wipe this off. Nice. Yeah, and remember we'll do all these nice dark teals. I'm gonna get back in the... We need to bring in some more earth. The value match trick, I talked about that earlier today. Nice. Okay. Well, I reckon that music's quiet enough you're not going to have to hear it and add. But if you do, man, YouTube is getting greedy. You know, I was watching a video on my cell phone and it insisted on splitting the screen with an ad when I maximize it. It's not nice. Okay, this is a good glow. Just clean my brush with that. That's good. Use this up. Here's the thing though, I gotta get a little more something in that. Whoop, no, it's a total. Let's do a nice job. Do a nice job. That's doing a nice job. Okay, we've got our greens in. Now back to the grays. Did I use them all? Alright, we got a lot of browns, but I think we'll start with like the cool gray first, because we can just let a lot of it be board color coming through. Glasses off. What's it doing? I had to wake up that purple. Thanks. Yeah. Now I got the door closed. I can't have that stuff around at all. That spray.
Okay.
I have a total
Okay, you
freaking
smell
headache.
it?
Oh, I've got a total headache right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Get your work done. It'll be all right.
Okay. Well, I'm probably just going to do this one today.
Take it easy, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm holding my breath and been standing out here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to get her done. It's all right.
So.
Thanks. Total headache. We don't have much to do. I think we can come in there with a little bit of black. I mean, that's looking good. Oh, I sure don't want to match that. Maybe we'll get lucky. Okay. That's looking nice. I'm really happy with that. That's nice. Get some little bunches here. Okay, waves. I'm gonna do my own thing on these waves. Like that. It's too wet. Too wet for some of these. Well, that's working pretty good. I'm always trying new approaches. Like I was saying, I find this a bit, it's a little busy. Woo. It's looking good. This looks a little dark. Wow, whoa, 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 whoa. That's way too bright. You don't want your, you never want your waves colors brighter than anything in the sky. I'm saying it from now, I'm saying it forever. Hello, anything there? Any paint there? It looks like there's paint there. There's not that much paint there. That's nice water. Now, I don't want to mess with it too much, but in fact, I'm super happy with it. That looks good. A little bit of, you remember when we did this? We'll get a little glow in there. Powerful. This looks a little too bright. my tan brush. Pretty happy with that. I do think I can come in with another layer of highlights on the foliage. Many times orange is your best highlight color for the greens, okay? The yellow can be strategically awesome as well. Or we'll work with a little both. Oh, it's gone. Quite bright. I don't need a lot. Little accents here and there. Sometimes that works. I tried the trick where, even though it's not a dark brush, I just grab a little black. That's not bad. Like I said, I want to avoid drafting. I don't need I don't need that. I don't need no drafting. Is that green? That's green. I don't want that. Right. Like it's the people. Nah. Nice. Good enough, eh? Yeah, pretty happy with that. I'm very happy with it. Now, this one bit of water started jumping at me. Where is it? There. I like it. It's just gonna knock it back. That's a nice painting. Someone was gonna love that. Alright, thanks for joining me. That's it. 1 hour. Did you know you could buy the book? Landscapepainter.co.nz. The book cost $65 US. Did you know?